They're going for 5 in a row, but like you have to play 4 local derbies really in Munster, and I think that's the key for Limerick. If Limerick get to Croke Park in any of the slots, I think they're going to be impossible to beat at that stage. So really, it's for them to tread their way through Munster, and every they're champions. Everyone will be looking to have a shot at them. To me, they probably look a little bit more ready this year than they did at a corresponding stage last year. Even though they were outstanding in the league final against Kilkenny and hammered them last year, but they were carrying a few injuries. Keane Lynch was out and struggling with the hamstring injury. He didn't get back until kind of All-Ireland semi-final stage. So it looks just now that everything is rosy for them. They have all their players that they'd want are injury free, and they have some young lads coming on that are adding to the mix and being very impressive really. So they certainly have the strongest panel. It is very hard to see them getting beaten, but who knows the way the cards play in Munster, particularly if they lost the first match to Clare. It looks like they're in this year, that they're improving in the league anyway. Again, like they're scoring goals in the most recent matches, but like they've done that in the year before last in the league. It was remarkable how many goals they scored. So like it's a big year for them really. They have a lot of players who are, they're not young anymore in terms of, they're not finding their way. They really have to actually do something and win something. I'd say this year, and to get into 3, they'll be challenging strongly for that. But it's there's not much between the teams, so they every team, not just Cork, not just Tipperary, they're all going to have to hit the pedal running really and try and win their first match and see where that brings them. It's hard to judge them really. You could look at it and say, well, they've been close enough in most of their league matches, and they were missing some key players. I mean, Dizzy Hutchinson is only finding his way back into it. They have Kevin Mahoney and a few of them that haven't really played in those league matches. And like when you think about it, they hammered Tipperary last year in Thurles in the last match, which was completely against the run of play. So they have a lot of talented players if they're all available. And over the last year and a half, they haven't really been all available to Davy. And it's just really, you have to have everyone available to be competitive in this championship. It's too tough to be playing with half a deck. They have some great players really, Callum Lyons, etc., Dizzy Hutchinson. Like those lads can really play. They have been close enough in some of the league matches. I wouldn't underestimate them now. They'll want to win the All-Ireland, but they have a lot of very good players. I mean, most of the league this year, all the league this year, they've gone without Tony Kelly and Shane O'Donnell, and they've been still scoring freely. So David Fitzgerald is playing well. Young Rogers is an outstanding player, very, very good for UL as well. So, Shane Meehan is coming on playing well. So Clare are actually after finding a couple. I think their defence really is where they have probably the questions to answer. They were unpicked really by Limerick and Kilkenny when it came down to it last year, but they'll be very competitive. The most obvious thing about Tipperary this year in their league performances so far is that they're physically strengthening up and getting stronger. So the likes of Conor Bowe, the likes of Brian O'Mara, Garrod O'Connor, they're all strengthening up, which is really a prerequisite before you can be competitive in the Munster Championship. And so I think Tipperary are an improving package. It's a question of whether they're ready just yet. I mean, I'm not sure that they're ready to beat Limerick in Croke Park just yet, but like in the Gaelic grounds, on a given day, if Limerick are after having a match, Tip are fresh enough on their first day out. I think Tip will be very competitive. It's an impossibility to say who's going to win anything really. You even after when it came to the last round of matches last year, you still wouldn't know who was going to win what, because any team could have gone either way. It could come down to score difference. Can Tipperary win Munster? I think they can be very competitive. I think the most important thing for Tipperary is maybe not to win. They don't need necessarily to win anything. They need to get to Croke Park. They need to get experience. So they need to be in one of the first three positions.